Hello people, Peter down in the old man shed, and we're having a look at the end caps, the axle issues with the Hatton 66, and I've sold it my way and it works. Whether or not if you want to go that route or not, I don't know, but the initial idea was very clever, you know, to have these rotating axle hubs just like the real thing. The bogie frame here, where the axle hubs come through, here, this little piece I'm touching is a separate piece of plastic that plugs into those locations above their respective axle ends. The problem arises whereby they've not allowed for the fact that the three axles on the bogie, regardless of the end details, want to find their true level on the track, which means they move. Now you can see that. Now that can move because when the axle cap came off, I got the hole. There's a little diagram. See if I can show you. Right. So let's have a look. See, I know badly drawn. So imagine the axle hub. You know, it's central. What I've done is I've elongated the hole. So you've still got the outside looking good, but you see what's happening is that when the weight is on the wheel, it's making the peg, you know, making the axle hub wanting to rise, and you know, that's why they break off, because the loco's quite heavy. The little bit of super glue that they put on is not fantastic, and by the time it's gone round your layout a few times or whatever, it's possibly come off. So let's say that's dead centered, but the wheel, I know it's a bad drawing, sorry guys, but the wheel is not sitting nicely on the track. When I've done my elongation there, it allows the axle to come up a little bit. It might still rub on the plastic frame, but it's by no means, but the wheel is on the rail, and that's for all three bogies as well. So that's my very bad diagram. Alright, so I've tried to elongate the hole. You don't have to, you know, so you don't have to do it sideways. That's fine, you know, because it's fine in sideways. It's the up and down movement. You've got to give the axle room to rise and find its level on the track. So let's go back to the actual model. This is the way I normally clean my tracks. I've got a bit of power track here, and I normally put it against one axle, and then when she starts to revolve with my glass fiber pen. Let's do this properly. Yeah, so put it up to the axles like that. So when that's going around with my glass fiber pen, I'm cleaning the wheels like that. But for this purpose, I just want it to spin round quickly. Now you see, as I'm putting to the track, you will see all those ends rise, especially that one. Look at that one. Look, see? And yet that means that's risen up that far, and yet the wheel is on the track, the wheel is on the track, the wheel is on the track. And yet look, so now it's got weight on it. So that's the weight of the loco going against it now. So all three wheels are on the track. I'm not pushing that hard, otherwise it won't revolve, obviously. But you can see now that one's definitely not in the centre now. It's raised a bit. So's that one. Not so bad, that one. And this is what you've got to do, guys. This is why now I haven't got the wobble. You can see you haven't got a chance in hell of trying to get these absolutely true centered. All you're doing is gluing it onto the end of a spike on the end of the wheel at the end of the day. You can try to be as accurate as possible, but it won't be enough. So if this bit of plastic would be, if that was rubber, let's turn the speed down a bit. If that plastic was rubbing against the end cap, right, it should just slow down. You can see that's not central, that's risen up. But I've got the wheels now touching the rails, which is what would happen if you put it on your layout. That one doesn't seem so bad. I'll move it up and down because, as you know, they go in and out as well. And you can see that this one has still got a little bit of rubbing around the shoulder. They are plastic. I thought it was resin. It's because where I drilled the end cap out, it was the super glue that I could see coming out, and I thought it was a resin, but it's actually just a plastic. And this is the problem, guys. Alright, so this is why, see, look at it, there's a gap there, that's gone up. Look at that there. So, and yet all three wheels are touching the track, so they're not centered anymore. If I hadn't done that, the wheels would, you know, try to sit on, you know, they would take all the weight of the wagon, of the engine, on these axle ends, and that's why they pop off, because they've got to move backwards and forwards as they go around curves and across points and things like that. You've got to have a little bit of play, you know, backwards and forwards. But this is what I'm trying to show you, that there is, I don't know, I don't want to damage the paintwork, but there is that mad movement. See, look, there's movement in the wheel. Look at that. Which I've now created, you know, which is now got now. The axles are happy to do what they want to do. So they sit squarely on the track. This piece of plastic here, where it goes round, because this is all one piece here, this little bit here, and it slots into the main bogie frame. This bogie frame is fantastic detail. It's all separate bits, pieces put on it. And this last bit, and it's not glued in. You literally, if you had the end caps off, you just put something in there, just pull down. There's a peg in there. There's a peg there, and there's a peg there. Comes out, and it's again, it's that sort of soft plastic. It's not a very hard plastic. It's got a bit of give in it, you know. So yeah, I won't go do it. But anyway, so there you are, guys. It's just that. Hopefully, this is what I've done to get round the problem of the wobbling and why your end caps come off. Now that's been on there now for days. I got it at where are we now? We're Thursday. So when did this arrive? I think I had it running round at the bank holiday weekend, the VE weekend, after I'd done the modification. First of all, I let it run in, thinking, yes, you can see why, but when Hattons tell you, just keep running it, because look, you can see there, it's the plastic is actually wearing against the plastic. So in time, they probably would. Look at that movement. See, look at that. That's the wheel moving, yeah. So you can imagine if that was, if that hole in this end frame was true, and I hadn't elongated it, it wouldn't be allowed to make that movement. And because of that, it would be resting on the end cap. If the end cap is not totally square, it'd be rolling around elliptically, and of course that gives you your wobble like that. So there we are, guys. So that's my little tip. If you've got a Hattons 66 and the end caps keep coming off, whatever, or it's got a bad wobble, I know you shouldn't have to be doing it. And it was a clever idea by Hattons, but they just screwed up by it a little bit. It would work if they produced the moulding that was elliptical on that end cap, on the end frame there. That's all you got to do. Not have a completely true round hole for these little pegs to go in, but have it elliptical. That way then it would leave the room for the axle to move up and down, and then all three axles would then find their true you know, place on the track. And the same with the axles at the other end, obviously, yeah, because you've got to look at both axles. So this loco has virtually had, well, yeah, most of it now, thinking about it, because basically what I did when I got it, when one or two came off, I then took the others off. Yeah, because I thought this is what, you know, I knew what was wrong, and I thought to myself, well, if I do that, and someone on YouTube has already done it, he explained how he drilled out the hole. He just made a bigger, you know, he just made the hole bigger. With a scalpel, I went round and took a bit more meat off the top. So as I say, I ended up with, although the hole was bigger, but I ended up with it being elliptical as well, you know, just like my drawing. Yeah. So that's how it first starts off round. I know it's a bad drawing, guys, sorry. But I've ended up with it, same meat either side, but a little bit thinner top and bottom. Certainly at the top it's got to be thinner, because that allows the axle to do that. The axle, you know, the wheel sits on the rail. If it moves up a little bit, well, fair enough, you've given it space so that it can move up. It might still be hitting the plastic, but believe me, it won't be as bad, because that's what it's trying to do otherwise. And that's why you lose your end pieces. Okay, hope that's been of use. And you know, you've seen on me previous videos, this is running absolutely sweetly now, so I'm over the moon about it now. So would I get some more? Well, you know, there was no other quality issues with this one, obviously. I'm pleased to say it was all down to the axle boxes, the wobbling. The engine is fantastic. The chip from Lego Man is brilliant. All the lighting functions work, cab lights, automatic and everything. go round at the back side of all these details and super gluing them in, guys. Alright, oody little bits on the frame. Didn't lose any paint on this one because the rails that you have to remove, they're black, so that's good. Okay, hopefully that's going to be of use to somebody. Alright, but that's the way I've done it, and it's worked. You obviously got to be, you know, competent using your tools or whatever. If you know, a lot of people will go, oh no, you know, I don't want to do that. Fair enough. But if you are skilled enough, and I'm a model maker, so I've got my scalpels and I've got my drills and everything. So I had a lovely, I'll just find, on my, if anybody's got a Dremel, oh sorry, not the camera. If anybody's got a Dremel kit, this is what I actually used to drill the hole out. And it was just sod's law that, can you see it, is the perfect size. This is like a little, you know, a little, put it in my hand drill, just keep turning it and that chews away at whatever. So rather than a drill, this is a, I don't know what you call it, like a, I don't know what it's called anyway, but it's the perfect size, absolutely perfect size. It was made for it. And so with my hand drill, I was just drilling away, and then I went in at an angle so I knew I'll be taking away a bit more at the top. But yeah, that's the perfect. It's a man drill. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called. Well, I don't know. But anyway, whatever it is, it's full of little teeth there, and it just grinds away. You know, just works away at whatever it is you want to mill. Maybe it's a mill. I don't know. Mills anyway. But whatever. So I was lucky that I had that. I didn't intend for it, but I was going through my Dremel bits and pieces. I hit the camera again. And there she was. So my job was made easy because I've got the perfect size tool to make the holes bigger, which is done, and it can go be put away now, and I can carry on playing trains. Okay people, right, so thank you for watching. I hope you have found it useful. Yeah, and as I say, so this is the way, just to finish off, as I say, how do you keep your wheels clean. It's a sort of similar way to the Pico thing, but what I normally do, this is where my little Hornby Elite comes in handy. I've got power to the track, yeah. You put, let's put the speed up. You put power on to your wheels, get it going. And then with your fibre pen, you can just do that. You don't press too hard, obviously. And that cleans up the wheels lovely, yeah. Move it along so you've got power, it's moving around, and then do the same for the other set. Twist it, turn it around and do the other. So that's how I keep my motor wheels clean. Doesn't help on wagons, obviously, you've got to have power. Right, thanks for watching. Yeah, I hope it's been of use. Okay, so goodbye everybody, goodbye.